Hello again, YouTube. This is Truth Blaster, blasting you with the truth. And today is Road Rage 15, and I want to talk about enemies. Enemies, like, I think I'm going to give you 7 ways. It's going to be at least 5. We'll title this 7 Characteristics of an Enemy. You know, we want to believe that everybody in our race, so to speak, quote unquote, we want to believe that they're all with us, like they're not against us, they're not opponents, if you will. But I want you to know that's not the case. Just because I'm what they call black, and just because somebody else is black does not mean they are in favor or favorable to me. I mean, that's just being awake. That's just being red pill. I fully understand that some people, anybody that sleep is an enemy. But that's not number one. I may include that, but let us begin. Number one way to spot an enemy, number one characteristic of an enemy, is somebody that's always in competition against you. You buy a car, they buy a car. You go to school, they go to school. Everything you say, everything you do, they looking for a competitive answer against it. Whether it's at work, whether it's at home, whether it's in traffic, wherever you are, the enemy is going to always compete against you. Number two, second characteristic of an enemy, how to spot an enemy, is someone that's jealous of you. No one will admit being jealous of somebody else. But you know when somebody's jealous of you. Let me give you some examples. 1, you buy a car and they refuse to look at it. But then somebody else buys a car and they're looking all through it, crawling in it and everything else. You get a good job, it's not congratulations, this, that, and the other. Somebody else get a good job, somebody else finish school, they throwing parties, they congratulating them, they doing everything you could think of. Oh, we finna break this one in. The number 2 or number 3 way to spot an enemy is negative backstabbing and gossip towards you. If they have negative stuff, if they saying negative stuff about you that they won't say to you, and they know whether or not they'll say it to you, then that is an enemy. Because a friend, an ally, is going to stick up for you. An ally, when people talking about you, if they don't want to get involved, they'll leave the room. But people that's sitting around listening to it and laughing at it, and they know they saying this stuff, but they not telling you, that's an enemy. Remember, I did one on passive aggression. Some people have a passively aggressive attitude against you. Number 4, way to spot an enemy, characteristic of an enemy. If they will steal from you. If you can't leave your purse around somebody, you can't leave your wallet around somebody without them stealing money out of it, without them going through it, that's an enemy. I don't care if it's your own sister or brother, that's an enemy. If you can't leave items around them without them taking possession of those items, that is an enemy. Number 5 way to spot an enemy is if they have your telephone number, but they never call you. if they have your telephone number and they never call you. Like, that's because they have something against you. An enemy is always going to have something against you. Someone who has your telephone number but they never call you, unless they're like a distant friend or somebody that's not in close, like not close to you, that's an enemy. A blood relative, somebody you grew up with, those type, if you never hear from them through a text, if you never hear from them on the phone, that means that they're holding something against you. And if they're holding something against you, they are what? An enemy. Number 6, if they never support what you do. Now, let me give you a couple of examples. Let's say, okay, I got a YouTube channel, right? If I send a link to somebody to watch my videos and they don't watch it or they don't click like, that's because they don't want to support me. That's because they have a problem, some type of problem with you where they don't want to support you. If y'all, for instance, if y'all could have went in business together, but yet they chose to go into business with somebody they don't even know or barely know, it's because they have something against you. And again, if they're holding something against you, they're an enemy. Number 7, way to spot an enemy is someone who's always looking for fault in you. If somebody loves you, if somebody is